Ta-da! At the last part of 2024, I actually got myself two different kettles. So one is the fellow Stag EKG, and the other one is the Cocinaré Gooseneck kettle. A lot of the viewers here on our channel are actually excited with the Cocinaré because Cocinaré is a very young brand who is trying to elevate different kitchen equipments. Nevertheless, this new brand made a gooseneck kettle. So this is a Cocinaré gooseneck kettle, and today we are going to compare the Cocinaré gooseneck kettle against Brewista Artisan kettle, the Brewista X, and the Fellow Stags. These kettles, especially the Brewista Artisan and the Fellow Stag, are some of the most popular kettle brands in the market in specialty coffee. So yes, we're gonna compare this against the two most used, most bought, and most sought after kettles in the market. So we're gonna start with the physical differences of some of the kettles that we have right now. So on this side is the Cocinaré Gooseneck kettle, and then this is the Brewista Artisan kettle. As you can see, they're not too far in terms of height. The handle of the Cocinaré is placed higher than the Brewista Artisan kettle, which could affect your controllability. The spout of the Brewista, this is the classic spout of the Brewista Artisan kettle. It reaches farther as compared to the Cocinaré Gooseneck kettle. The shape of the spout of the Cocinaré is a lot like the Fellow Stag, and you're gonna see it in a bit. But at the same time, while they stand almost the same height, the Cocinaré Gooseneck kettle holds 800 ml, while the Brewista Artisan kettle holds only 600. The Brewista X is taller than the Cocinaré Gooseneck kettle, but not that much, because if you take out the lid, there, as you can see, the Cocinaré is a bit taller still. They have a very big difference in the handle. That's why it looks taller. The handle sits at the same height. So the Brewista X is placed high again, as well as the Cocinaré Gooseneck kettle. The Brewista X still has the same profile or the same curve of a classic Brewista Artisan kettle, but the Brewista X has a shorter reach as compared to the Brewista Artisan. As you can see here, I will place it right behind, right where they start. There. And lastly, Cocinaré 800, and then the Brewista X holds 800 ml as well. Is it? Yes, 800 ml as well. Right. Now we move on to the Fellow Stag EKG. Right, so as you can see, the curve and the bend at this segment, at this first segment right here below, near the body, they are a lot alike. See? They only differ here at the egress where the water comes out. So the Fellow bends slightly away from the main spout, while the Cocinaré Gooseneck kettle bends aggressively as if it's like a Brewista. Now for the height, they sit at the same exact height. Their bodies look the same. The handles are very much different. So as you can see, the handle of the Cocinaré is very much curved as compared to this very iconic handle of the Fellow Stag EKG. The Cocinaré holds again 800, and the Fellow Stag holds 900 ml. Okay, as much as I want to test the speed of the different kettles, it would not be fair to the Cocinaré because my Cocinaré is a 110 to 120 volts version. They do have a 220 volts version, but it's not what I have right now. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check for temperature accuracy. We're gonna test with an external thermometer if the temperature displayed on the different kettles are correct or how far are they. Thermometer that we're gonna use is this. This is a Time More thermometer. It's a digital thermometer, so we're gonna be able to get instant readings from the different kettles that we have here. Alright, all 4 kettles are now holding their temperatures at 93 degrees Celsius. They've been like that for maybe 5 minutes now. So, I'm gonna check them one by one, open their lid, and I'm gonna dip this thermometer to see which kettle comes closest to the temperature that they are displaying, right? I'm gonna start with the Cocinaré here. So, the reading is actually 93.8. So that's close. Next, we're gonna try and read the Brewista Artisan Kettle. So the Brewista is reading 94.3. The Fellow Stag is reading 93.9. So far, the Brewista Artisan Kettle is the farthest. Okay, now the Brewista X. The Brewista X reads 93.8. So it's the same as the Cocinaré. We're gonna do one more round because some of them have declining temperatures. They are trying to hold their temperatures to 93 degrees. We're gonna read the Cocinaré again. So the Cocinaré now stabilized at 94.2, while the Brewista Artisan Kettle, I think it's stable at 94.2 as well. Now for the Fellow Stag. The Fellow Stag reads 93.4. The Brewista X at 94.4. So, I think these kettles, what they do is, if you want to maintain your temperature at 93, they are going to ramp up. Of course, they're gonna heat it up to maintain, and they're gonna stop somewhere at 94.94. They're gonna stop somewhere 1 degree higher. While my observation with the Fellow Stag, the temperature of the Fellow actually fluctuates from 93.4, then it goes down to 93.1, and then it goes down up to 92.4. So I think the Cocinaré, the Brewista, and the Brewista X shares the same technology, and the Fellow Stag has a different technology among the 3. Instead of ramping up 1 degree higher, it maintains the temperature at the desired number that you set, and then it fluctuates down. So I think the Fellow Stag has more accurate temperature. But in terms of brewing, the Fellow Stag has risk of brewing at lower temperatures because if you set your kettle to 92, you're gonna get a 91 degree water. Now we're gonna talk about comfortability. I'm very vocal that my favorite is this one, the Brewista Artisan Kettle. It holds my hand firmly. There is a resting place for my palm. My hand sits perfectly on the handle of the Brewista. And then my thumb, as you can see, is on top. Even without any grip or rubber here on this part, I don't mind holding it like that and then using it. Right, I can use this with one hand or two hands. Right. Now with the Brewista X, the Brewista X has a more geometrical handle. There are more sharper edges, and it's longer. It's not too curvy, and it has a sharp angle right here. Despite those sharp edges, it feels comfortable in the hand. There is a rubber for your thumb. but your hand would sit very differently here. There is also pinching indents right here where you can actually hold it right like that with your thumb and your pointing finger. So you can put 3 fingers here and then put your thumb and your pointing finger like that for more accurate pouring. You can also place your thumb here on the rubber like that if you're more comfortable like that. Next, we move on to the Fellow Stag, which has a very iconic handle. So it's more organic. It looks like a tree branch or a tree stem. So your 4 fingers would sit here, and then you have multiple options. You can put your thumb right here. You can close your hand and put your thumb right here, wrap around that branch-like curve. You can also pinch it with your pointing and your thumb, like so. And you can also put your thumb here on top, lightly wrapping the branch-like feature of the handle. Of all the 4 kettles, the Fellow Stag is the only one with a very restricted flow rate. Lastly, this Cocinaré Gooseneck kettle. It's a very curvy and very thin handle. This part sits for your pointing finger. It's like a trigger. See? Right here. It's like a trigger grip. And then your 3 fingers right here. And then your thumb sits on top with a rubber padding right here. Now I'm gonna show you the flow of the water of different kettles. I'm gonna add one more light at the back of the vessel where we're pouring, so you can see the flow of the water better. We're gonna start with the Brewista. This is the fastest that it can do. And this is the slowest. Let's do the Brewista X. This is the fastest. And this is the slowest. Now we're gonna do the Fellow Stag. So this is the fastest. And this is the slowest. Lastly, the Cocinaré Gooseneck kettle. So this is the fastest. And this is the slowest. Upon my observation, the Brewista artisan kettle throws the water farthest. So if you pour it very fast, it's gonna throw the water a bit far than where the spout ends. Next is the Brewista X, and next is the Fellow Stag, which shortens that distance a bit more, and then lastly the Cocinaré. So right now I'm gonna put up on the screen side by side 4 different kettles of their slowest and fastest flow, so you can see it for yourself. That's it for now. This video has been very long. I really think the Cocinaré has a very big potential in terms of rivaling all these popular brands. But my favorite is still the Brewista Artisan Kettle. So I don't know, maybe I need to use the Cocinaré more. But yeah, for now, thank you so much for watching. In the next videos, I'm gonna show you more about coffee. Bye!